Hello everyone and welcome to the round 3 lockout countdown Q&A stream in what is one of the biggest weeks of the SuperCoach calendar, the first set of price changes, lots of big dilemmas this week, so lots to chat about in this final 58 minutes and 53 seconds until the start of the round. So good on a Thursday evening just to have footy back. So hopefully you all can hear me okay, you can see me okay, although that's not as important. And get your questions in. We'll try to tackle as many as we can. Thanks so much to a lot of you on the stream already. Dean, the Beer Baron, hurry up, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. is now here. Roger Duckling, Josh, Brian, Brendan, Ulu, Kwan. So many of you in the chat already, which is fantastic. Of course, the hair looks amazing as per usual, mate. I don't get on the stream until my hair is looking tip-top. Very quickly, obviously, I posted something this morning about my trade thoughts. I haven't really deviated too much from it. Just thought I'd quickly illustrate it to you all just live, I guess. So Danny Levi to Joey Lussick, pretty comfortable we'll be doing that trade. Now, I think I will sell Ponga, and I think I will end up going to Latrell. So that leaves me with 194k in the bank. And I was actually thinking about this. I don't need to actually boost to go Lukey out for originally Kai Pearce-Paul, but I mentioned my doubts about him with Dylan Lucas not being named in the New South Wales Cup team for the Knights. Finifuyaki isn't a must trade in this week because he's got a relatively high break even. It's like in the 20-somethings. And I would like to see the minute situation with him. And next week, there could be other options emerging like a Samuel Afainu. And so I figured if I don't get Lukey out of my team, my 4 reserves would be Lussick, Sean Lane, Cleary, and Latrell, which is fine. I don't need another reserve. So I don't actually, because like if I brought in Finifuyaki, I'd be deciding between Lussick or him as the 4th reserve. So I might not end up boosting. And again, I don't even have to sell Ponga to Latrell. I could actually just do Lukey out for someone else. The appeal with going Lukey out is that I can get someone with a negative break even. So for example, if I go Lukey out, with 665k in the bank, I've got plenty of money. The thing I'm conscious of is that I still have Spencer Leniu. I don't think I'll be trading him out this week either. A couple of reasons why. I want to potentially get Josh Curran next week as a duel. Maybe I want to go Flegler. I really want to see what happens with the minutes tonight with one of the Broncos forwards with Payne Haas being out for 4 to 6 weeks. Corey Jensen could be back on the menu. And so I'm kind of like, as long as I leave myself maybe like 80k-ish in the bank or maybe some decent amount of money, I could still take out Leniu next week. And Liam Henry obviously is not fantastic. He's coming off the bench, but look, no Fisher Harris. I'm happy to get like 35-40 points from him tonight. And so that's currently what I'm thinking with keeping Leniu. I'm kind of like, do I want to keep Lukey again this week and have both him and Leniu as must trades next week for me? There could be other stuff that crops up as well. So I'm still thinking I'm going to boost. I could go Jeremiah Nanai with the money. Still have 82k in the bank. That's plenty to go Spencer Leniu out for someone next week. I'm not sure if I'm sold on Nanai. Finifuyaki leaves me with plenty of money in the bank. I could go via duels, to someone like a Mulatalo. That leaves me 37k in the bank, which is enough to go Spencer Leniu to Josh Kern next week if I wanted. The only downside of this is that it stops me from doing a VC loop because Taylor May locks out tonight, RTS and Tuapiki lock out tomorrow. And then if I want to do a loop, I won't be able to find out because Mulatalo locks out at the same time as Nico Hines. And then so what's going to happen? I will have no other loop option because everyone else is going to be playing in my team. I guess Spencer Leniu, but yeah, actually Spencer Leniu, no, he locks out tomorrow on Friday. So again, that's another thing. So, if I go Finifuyaki, it leaves me with that money to potentially want to go Hamiso instead of locking in that money with a Mulatalo this week. So I'm kind of just playing with that. I don't need to make the decision today. So I probably won't make any live trades on air. But I am committing to keeping Spencer Leniu again this week, play Liam Henry. But the Levi to Lussick move I think definitely will happen. And the reason I'm thinking about it more and more is because I don't think I'm leaning towards playing Lussick over Finifuyaki if I get both of them in, because Lussick was more likely to be playing 80 minutes, whereas Finifuyaki 55 to 60. So that's kind of why I was like, do I actually need to boost out Lukey? So that's currently what I'm thinking. Maybe I just do 2 trades and save the boost. I'll sleep on it, see what happens tonight. I don't need to make any moves today just with the way my team is set up, as long as I commit to playing Liam Henry, which I think I will. So yeah, at the moment, I won't actually do any trades live on air, but that's currently where my head's at in terms of my own trade thoughts. But that's enough for that. Let's get through your questions. There's heaps of questions coming in, so do keep them coming in. And of course, as Michael says, a red arrow to anyone who doesn't give the stream a like. So better hit the like button. Let's go. Apologies, lots of questions coming in. I'm just going to start from the bottom of the chat and just kind of keep them coming in. Definitely not selling Ponga. Could easily go 120 against an understrength Storm. I get that, Mark. My view is that with Ponga and Melbourne, like Melbourne is still a systems team. Like I know that they'll be understrength, but like, no Munster, Jonah Pezzett comes in. I do think the loss of Hughes is big for their attack. I think it will dent their ability to score points. But from a defensive point of view, I still look at it as I don't see much changing for them defensively. Like how much is Ponga going to capitalize on a team that I still think will more or less defend well? Like is taking out Jerome Hughes or Cam Munster all of a sudden going to reduce their defensive ability? I don't think so. If you start talking about taking out forwards, then I think it's a different story. But taking out the halves, I don't think is a huge thing for their defense. Maybe Tyron Wishart is a worse defender than Jerome Hughes, but I don't see it as a huge thing. So again, as I said this morning, my gut is still leaning me towards selling Ponga. Lukey out, Burbo up, Mulatalo in. Yes, that is definitely an option. But as I said, it does stop me from doing a VC loop. So I guess I just need to decide what do I want to do with the loop. I could just go VC Cleary, and that just makes my decision for me. And so it feels a little bit passive not boosting and just going and keeping Lukey and Lenu. So I think I will end up using the boost. I just don't know who for. I'm calling a little bit less on Val just because I do think that the Dragons I think they'll lose, but I don't think they're going to get smacked like they were last week. So kind of thinking I won't go Val. Even the Sharks or the Tigers, I'm like, are the Tigers going to get absolutely trounced by the Sharks? We just don't know. They're playing at home, at least the Tigers. So that's why I'm kind of like maybe Hamiso could be the option, because I do like the Dolphins draw after their bye. Who do they have? They've got the Titans, then they've got Tigers, then it's Broncos, then it's Parramatta, Knights. Like it's a decent run for the Dolphins. So another reason why I'm thinking maybe I just go for Nifuyaki and keep the funds. All right. Do I think Trell will perform at Trellians? Look, Trell is just kind of a guy who I think is just fixture proof. I think he just seems to always score well. Even last year when the Rabbitohs were having their slump, he still averaged 71 in the 4 games he played last season. So yes, I think that's just what I'm leaning towards. I still think I'll end up with Trell. Play Burbo or Ethan Strange. I like Burbo. I think it's a good matchup against Parramatta for him. Playing on that edge, which is the right side edge of Parramatta defensively. I guess it's Will Penasini. He's a pretty decent defender. But I think it's a good game for attacking stats, and I think we saw in the Vegas matchup that Burbo can get attacking stats. Last week, people can say he got dudded a try assist. I think that Warriors away game is tough for the Raiders, so I think I'd prefer Burbo. Who to play out of Royce Hunt versus Liam Henry? I think I'd still take Liam Henry just because Royce Hunt, minutes-wise, probably not going to be as much as a Liam Hunt. I get the appeal of the Tigers and potential attacking stats. I think I'd just take Liam Henry, though. Salmon to Curran worth a boost. I think Salmon to Curran is an upgrade. I think Curran is a better option than Salmon. So, yes, I think it's probably worth a boost. Nanai is nice. Yeah, the only thing with Nanai is that then just locks me into him. And maybe I want that money to make a centre wing upgrade next week. I just don't know yet. Nanai is traditionally a player who I'm not a fan of, just because he doesn't have the best base stats. Although his base stats have been a little bit better so far this year. Granted, it's a 2-game sample size, but we're looking at base of 35 and 48. The 35 is a little bit on the lower side, but 48 is pretty decent. So he could be an option. The draw is good. They don't have any buy until round 15, which is another good thing with Cowboys players. Last centre wing to play, Strange or Burbo. I just answered that. It would be Burbo for me. Buffering a little. Okay. It should be coming back soon. Hopefully you guys can still hear me okay. Do you plan on switching Tuapiki for down the road? We'll cross that bridge when we get there, Shannon. But could be someone like maybe Tape from the Tigers if he becomes a viable cheapie. Maybe Tommy Talau if he comes back into that team. Or I just upgrade him to, a centre wing, maybe like a Hamiso. Who to play, Satili or Piakura? I would play Piakura just because I think he'll play 80 minutes. I know it's a tough matchup against Penrith, but he at least base statted 48 last week against the Rabbitohs. I don't think he's going to go huge tonight. I think we're probably looking at a low 40 score, but I kind of see Satilli getting about the same. So I'd probably just take the guy who's going to play the more minutes, which I think is going to be Piakura. Should I VC Cleary and captain Ponga, or just place captain on a bye player and loop Cleary? Obviously depends on how big Cleary goes, but yes, in your situation, I think VC Cleary is a very good shout. He's got a good record against Broncos. We know what he did against them the last time they played in the grand final, so I think he's a very safe VC option, Cleary. Lussick or Strange as a last reserve? I would take Lussick, I think, in that situation. My car hopefully gets to the full 80 minutes. Playing at home, I think Strange has got a tough matchup away to the Warriors, so I'd take Lussick in that situation. Last reserve spot, Lussick or Tuapiki. That's a bit of a tougher one. I think I would take Tuapiki because I actually think he's got the same floor as a Lussick, which is around a 50, but I think the possibility of attacking stats would favour him against the Raiders at home. So I'd actually take Tuapiki in that situation. Super Z Adams. Do I like Fletcher Baker at all? Base points for minutes played don't seem too bad. Yeah, someone actually had asked about Corey Jensen. So yeah, last 2 games, 33 minutes and 23 minutes, and he's got base stats of 27-26, which is pretty decent PPM. The only difference is that he's been coming off the bench both times. There is generally a difference with front row forwards when they start, and if they play longer minutes, the PPM generally does reduce. It's not a direct correlation that, okay, if he plays, say, 40 minutes, he's going to get the same PPM. So, again, it's a reason why, same with Jensen. Jensen does seem to have a good work rate too. Like, last week at the start, he was on like 36 at halftime, which looked really good. But then he played like bugger all minutes in the second half. So I'm definitely keenly watching Jensen because, if you take out this week, Haas could be back in, say, 3 to 5 weeks. So Jensen could be a nice little money maker potentially. But again, it's another reason why I'm happy to just keep Lenu again this week, because I might want to go Josh Kerr or Flegler or Jensen, or maybe just pay out big for Cotter. Curran or Hamoli, better value for sure, Curran, just because of the price. But yeah, I mean, Hamoli's a gun. Does Burbo play good this week? That's completely predictive. I don't know. I think he'll be fine. Play Lussick or Piakura last reserve. Well, see, actually, I didn't even consider this. I could, if I did Levi to Lussick, then I could bench Piakura and just play Sean Lane, and that would be my 4 reserves. It would be Lussick, Lane. Sorry, it would be Lussick. Actually, no, it wouldn't be. Anyway, that's my own team issue. Who would I play out of Lussick or Piakura? I'd actually play Lussick, I think. More chance of attacking stats, I reckon. Harvey. Very tough one, though. That's a tough one. I guess at the end of the day, I know the Broncos have lost Payne Haas and Adam Reynolds, but they are still a good team. So Piakura still could get something, but yes, it is a tough matchup. Buy Pappenhausen or Turbo. Blake, I would 100% buy Turbo this week. He doesn't have the buy next week like Pappy. I also think Turbo is in for a big one this weekend. Play Hughes in the front row forward or trade in Fletcher Baker. Josh, Hughes is a tough one because he's probably going to get you sub 30 or low 30s. I think Fletcher Baker is going to get you not that different. Personally, if you're not fully convinced, I would just play Hughes this week and then maybe wait a week and still get the more information. Because Baker doesn't have a super high break-even. We're looking at a break-even of like 31. He's not going to go hugely up in cash, so I think you'll be fine if you had to wait a week on him. Planning on Salmon to Kerr, Hutchinson to Hammerstone next week. Stuck with Jacob Gagai. Thoughts on him at the moment? So Shannon, with Jacob Gagai, I think if you don't have a Lockie Galvin, he could be, and if you, let's assume you've got Ethan Strange in your 5'8" spot, and Lockie Galvin could just be a perfect swap in next week for Jacob Gagai. You trade him up, swap Ethan Strange to your centre wing, and you can do a straight swap to Galvin. So I think you've got an option there. You've got for Tape, I don't even know how to pronounce it, apologies. He could be someone as well you consider. So I think you've got a couple of bottom dollar options that you can potentially move to. Felt or Curran if money isn't an issue. So how much is Felt? Bit of a pod. 559k, 67 and 74 in the first 2 weeks. Decent base stats actually, 34 and 31. I mean, to be honest, I'd still take Curran. I think even with the price saving, I still think I'd take Curran. Just feels safer for me. Ponga to Trell or Ronaldo. So I'm kind of having the same decision, Joshua. I'm taking Latrell just because I know Ronaldo can have those low games in him. He hasn't shown it yet this season, but at least with Trell, his low games are probably like a 50. He just feels a bit safer to me. Probably has a higher ceiling as well. Is it worth trading Papian with a buy next week? I think if that money downgrade for Pappy gets you an upgrade elsewhere that's more than what you can get with another fullback, then I think he's fine. Like if Pappy didn't have this buy next week, I think I'd be getting him over Latrell. It's just that he's got the buy. I've already got Harry Grant too. I don't want both of them on the buy. Boost for Havili. Thank you, Josh, the Whisperer in the chat. Yeah, it's Havili season by the sound of it. Damien Cook on the bench. Havili is going to be maybe he's a keeper. Who knows? We could be getting keeper Havili. How good would that be? No, I would definitely wait a week on Havili, but look, 372k. Is he dual? He's dual hooker, second row forward. He could be the answer on your second row forward, potentially if you're a Lukey owner. Wait a week to trade Fermor to Curran. I think if you're wanting to do that move, Tyler, I would just do it this week. Curran does have a negative break even, so he will go up in price. So if you think you're going to do it, I think just do it this week. Is Levi to Lussick a must if other hooker is Grant? Jonty, not a must. Levi still will make money, but I've kind of explained that like on Tuesday's stream, I think Lussick is just going to be such a better play in your team next week. Going to make you more money as well. Like I do think it's still worth the change. So not a must, but if you own Grant, that's exactly what I'm doing. So actions speak louder than words. Buy Teddy or Pappy? Just Teddy's draw just feels a bit up and down. I think Pappy still has a better ceiling than Teddy. I would prefer Pappy, to be honest. Bill, thank you so much for the kind donation, $2. Ponga to Mitchell, Pap or Teddy? Look, I'm kind of in the same dilemma. I'm ranking Mitchell number one. I mean, obviously the game this week against the Roosters is not easy, but he does then have the Dogs next week, which I think is a really great matchup. He's got a great record against them. I'll quickly bring it up on screen. So if you look at Latrell against his upcoming opponents, so against the Roosters, his last few scores not great, 66, 45, 53, so I'm not expecting big things out of that match. But against the Bulldogs, last three scores, 146, 136, and then 74. Against the Warriors, 152, 108, and 71. I will caveat with that Warriors one, though. That's 2022. He didn't play them at all last season. We know that the Warriors are a much improved team from 2022. So I don't expect him to go getting 150. But again, this is just an idea of the ceiling. I think with Pappy's draw, his buy next week, I think with the goal kicking, I just prefer Latrell, I think, to Teddy. Am I allowed to switch on SC Plus? Was that frowned on? I have no idea. And quite frankly, I don't care. I'll show SC Gold if I need to. Curran, Elliott, and I'm not taking out anything on you. I'm just saying it's useful for you guys, so why would I not show it? Are you allowed to switch? Oh, I've already answered that question. Curran, Elliott, or Finifuyaki? Who's the better trade-in for Lukey? My favorite out of those is Curran, I think. Basketball Craze Central. Good to see a basketball fan watching NRL SuperCoach content. Tabasco Sweet, hee, great username. Sold Ponga, moved to a picky. Don't know if I should get Holmes or Mulatalo. Sold Tupanua to Curran, and will sell Labour to get Teddy or Pappy next week. Feels like I'm in shambles at the moment. Deep breaths, Tabasco, deep breaths. SuperCoach isn't going to be won in round 3. Look, I think if you're selling Ponga and getting in a centre out of Holmes or Mulatalo, again, you need to look at it as Mulatalo's got to buy around 5. He's probably going to be a cash grab, potentially a trade out again. Or with Holmes, he could just be a set and forget keeper. I think out of the two, I would prefer Holmes. I think just as a general centering option, like he scored 54 last week with so many negative stats. I think I prefer Holmes. Tupanua to Curran, I think is a decent move. Labour, I think if you bought Labour, I would stick strong with him. He's got the Cowboys this week. I guess you're saying you would do it next week. I think your two moves though that you're proposing are fine. So I wouldn't stress out. Good luck, mate. Can't wait for a Cleary 142. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that just because I don't have the VC on him. I've been on VC Hines all week. I don't want to change it now at the last minute, although it would solve my headache of, do I want to do the loop, all that kind of good stuff. Does Sullivan affect Galvin's minutes? I don't think so. Surely the way that he played last week compared to Galvin hopefully just gets full 80 minutes. So I'm trading Levi to Lussick. Yes, I am. I'm not doing any moves tonight just because they don't actually affect my moves or who I'm benching and stuff. But yes, I will definitely be doing Danny Levi to Lussick. I'll quickly just show you guys on screen what I'm thinking of. Levi to Lussick. I think I'm going to do Ponga to Trell, and then could leave it at that, or I go Lukey to maybe like a Nanai, or I go Finafuayaki and bank heaps of cash, which I can use for an upgrade next week, either for Lenu or for a centre wing. Or I can go Lukey via duels to like a Mulatalo. That particular move just stops me from doing the VC loop easily. So that's kind of just what I'm deliberating at the moment. But I think I'm like 95%. I think I'm 100% Levi to Lussick, 95% Ponga to Latrell. The Lukey one is a little bit more up in the air at the moment. So hopefully watch the footy tonight, get a good night's sleep, and then I'll hopefully have a bit more clarity on what I'll do tomorrow. Swapping out Kepi, but not sure who to swap to. TBN, it just depends on how much money you've got. Around the price, I think Josh Kerr is a good potential front row forward option, but he doesn't play this week, obviously. Piakura or Burbo for the last reserve? Probably Burbo. I think he's going to play 80 minutes and just a better matchup than Penrith. So I think I'd actually take Burbo if I'm being honest. Ponga, Farmasuli, Marzu to Walsh, Mulatalo and May. Terrell May, for sure, get him in. Mulatalo's good downgrade for Marzu just to free up some cash and also get the cash over the next 2 weeks. I wouldn't go Walsh personally, just because he's got that Penrith matchup this week. I know he's going to be goal kicking, but Penrith are Penrith. They're just so tough defensively. Then he's got the Cowboys, which is fine. Then he's got Melbourne. I prefer, like, at least Latrell's got the Dogs in his next 3. I think Teddy's got a decent matchup in his next 3. So I just don't love Walsh in this week. So my personal recommendation would be get someone else apart from Walsh, but I think your other 2 moves are perfectly fine. Matt says Chan, Hutchinson or Lussick as a last reserve. I'd be taking Lussick, I think, in that situation. Chan doesn't have the best work rate. Hutchinson has not been that great. Lussick has been good though, playing at home. Looks 80 minutes. Yep, I like that. Josh Cruz, hey man, love the content. Thank you very much. Thoughts on Levi, Lukey, Tupanua to Lussick, Curran and Terrell May. Props to Cotter and Flegler, tossing up just to keep Tupanua 1 more week to save a boost. I know your front row forward is already good with Cotter and Flegler, but I do feel like Terrell May is pretty much a must. I think Tupanua to him is an upgrade. Lukey to Curran is good. Levi to Lussick. I think it's a really good boost, Josh. I know you're stacking your front row forward, which isn't generally the best position to be stacking, but there's nothing wrong with having good depth. And you can always move Cotter down to second row forward eventually. Yeah, I do like that. I do like that boost, Josh. Turbo, Curran, Lussick or Mulatalo, Yo, Lussick? Turbo, Curran, Lussick, just because that one has Turbo. Ryan, thoughts on the Wong scenario? I don't really know. Robbo's just doing his usual, probably playing up with a different bunch of combinations and stuff just to see what he wants to lock in for the remainder of the season. Who are my subs this week? So whatever fullback I get instead of Ponga will be one of them. Probably Latrell. Cleary for sure. Sean Lane. And then it will either be Lussick or whoever I get for Lukey. Is this your worst start and first time fading Teddy? I don't know if it's my worst start. I feel like I've had worse starts than this. Is it my first time fading Teddy? It is the first season in a while where I haven't really thought about getting in Teddy. I guess last season I did start with him and then eventually sell him. Cleary and Jensen or Tino and Brooks? Cleary and Jensen, just because it's got Cleary. Leanne. And I think Cleary will do well tonight personally. That's my feeling anyway. Start Fermor. Yeah, look, I think if you've got Beau Fermor, you start him. No Fafita, so he should be playing on the left, running outside of Foran, and it's a good matchup against the Bulldogs. Yes, I would start Fermor. Jimmy B, loving the content, Ahmad. Thank you. Last reserve, Galvin, Strange or Hutchinson. Not Hutchinson, and not Strange. I think it's a tough matchup. I guess Galvin, but Galvin had good base stats. That's the thing. He had a really good base from last week. Yeah, I think I'd actually take. I guess Hutchinson's got Titan. I don't know. I feel the most comfortable with Galvin. More of a gut thing there. You know, much of a muchness, but yes, I think I'd take Galvin. Jimmy B. Burbo or Kai Pierce-Paul for the last reserve. Probably Burbo. Again, security of minutes. If you wait all the way until... I mean, you don't have to make that decision until Sunday, Dan. But I think Burbo looks more set for the 80 minutes. Have I thought about buying a Blake Taff from the Josh Strange? Get out of here with these shenanigans recommendations. Why would I ever get Blake Taff? No way. Not a chance in hell. Maybe I'd buy the Bulldogs fullback if Josh Curran goes to fullback. Gotta love a Thursday game with a few players playing and has no bearing on your trades. Yeah, it is a nice feeling. I can sit back and watch Terrell May, Cleary, Piakura. I'm not really expecting a lot out of Piakura, but that's that. And just seeing... And Liam Henry, oh my God, I'll be cheering on... me and the Whisperer will be talking to each other all night long about Liam Henry. If he crashes over for a try, you're going to hear about it online, that's for sure. Burbo or Joe Chan as last reserve. I think I prefer Burbo. Slightly better work rate and better matchup, I'd say. Thoughts on bringing Big Tino in? I can't knock bringing Tino in. Like, he's obviously very expensive, but good matchup against the Bulldogs. They've finished their bye from last week, so they've now got a very clear run all the way to Origin. We know he can get attacking stats. Yeah, look, there's nothing wrong. I actually did see if there was a trade situation where I could get in Tino this week, but I just couldn't quite make it work money-wise. Brown to Brooks and Moses to Cleary. I like Moses to Cleary. I don't love Brown to Brooks just because, look, Brown and Moses do have the Tigers next week. So I'd probably want to try to keep one of them. Thoughts on Ponga to Holmes, Marzi to Mulatalo, Levi to Lussick. Great username, Pablo Escobar. Yes, I think that's perfectly fine. I think Val Holmes is a good just keeper center wing. Mulatalo as well. And then, I think Levi to Lussick, I think is a good trade. If I was head-to-head focused, trying to balance cash / with saving trades, is it still worth doing Ponga to Latrell / Ronaldo? Yeah, in a head-to-head situation, generally saving trades is more important than just trying to build a bank. So yes, I think if you can always look to save trades, if you're a head-to-head player, I would try to do it. So in your situation, you probably don't need to do that Ponga out move. Question for your draft team, Captain Walsh, To'o, Carrigan, or Metcalf? Surely Carrigan plays big minutes tonight. Don't know if... I think Carrigan jumped out just for safety. We don't know if Metcalf's going to keep goal kicking. I don't like the idea of captaining Walsh either against Penrith. Probably Carrigan just feels the safest, to be honest. Why would you buy Blake Taff? Excuse me, the Titans ranked 17th for points conceded to fullbacks. Please respect the name. All right, guys, you've heard it. The best 1 week punt of the week is Blake Taff. You've heard it from Josh. Boise, yes. Dylan Lucas not named in New South Wales Cup and named on the extended. Do I think he could be a late inclusion? Yes, I do think he can, which is why I'm not going to go Kai Pierce-Paul, because I just think the risk is there. We're on 277 viewers. That is insane. I've never had that many viewers. So guys, thank you so much for joining me on this Thursday night. Give the stream a like if you are enjoying it. Ponga and Viliama Fafita to Papi and Curran. Yeah, I like that. You're getting rid of an 80 nightmare in Fafita and you're strengthening your overall squad. Yeah, I like that, my car. Top 3 traps to avoid, in your opinion. I don't know if there's let me just have a quick look at the top traded ins just to see if there's a trap. Top 3 are not traps. I wouldn't call Hosking a trap because he should still make decent money, but I wouldn't be going Hosking. Maybe Savage. Is Savage a trap? Like, he's very attacking stat reliant. Personally, I don't like his work rate, which is non-existent. He's very attacking stat reliant. So I'd say if I had to say one of these is a trap, maybe Xavier Savage, but not that bad. That's the only one I can think of out of the top 10 trades in. Mike says, this bloke skips my comment every time. I'm sorry, Mike. That is not done on purpose. As I said, there's 270 people writing comments in, so it's not being done on purpose. So just calm down. Don't worry. I'll get to your question. I can see it now. You're forced to play Hughes. What are your thoughts on playing Flegler instead of Hughes to be able to get a loop with minimal risk? Yeah, honestly, I think it's a good week for loops. So, I don't mind just getting a free Luke. Hey mate, you didn't do Lussick? No, I will do it. I just haven't done it yet because I don't need to do it today. That's the only reason why. Yeah. Yes, guys, in general, if I miss a comment of yours, it's not because I'm trying to single you out and not answer it. Just relax. Which last reserves? Smithies, Piakura, Caesar, Burbo, Salmon. Probably Smithies or Burbo or Piakura. I said I'd lean Burbo over Piakura, so it probably rules out him. Smithies or Burbo. I think Smithies just feels safe for a 50, so I'd probably take Smithies. Am I playing Piakura? Yes, I will be playing Piakura. Any idea what Cleary would have scored in the grand final? Hoping for a repeat tonight. I don't know what he would have scored. Probably a ton. He did get like 30 plus points in that last play where he scored the try. Thoughts on moving Ponga to Tungo? Tungo feels a little bit, not of a trap because he is a gun, but a little bit of points chasing. Because last week he got 6 line breaks and he was just getting fed the ball down the right hand side. So I don't know if that's the same thing will happen today against the Broncos. Could be wrong. Why don't you need to trade Lussick in today? Because Levi doesn't lock out until tomorrow 6 o'clock. So I just don't need to make the move today. Latrell's a trap. Oh, don't say that, Shan. I might be trading him in. Let's see. There's some questions that are a little bit different. Ponga to Mulatalo or Pappy? Just straight head-to-head of the two. I do prefer Pappy. But I get that he does have the bye next week. Mulatalo is going to make good money. So I think you just need to weigh up of the two which one you prefer. Ponga to Pappy, Cleary, Moses to Cleary, and Hunt to May. Yes, John, I think those are some really good trades. And John, I did respond to your email as well, so hopefully you got that. Hey man, thoughts on going Levi, Ponga, Lukey to Lussick, Mulatalo, and Val Holmes. Starting fullbacks would be Pappy and Tuapiki. I don't mind the play of going 2 gun centre wings and not going a fullback if you're not keen on any of the other fullbacks. You just probably need to eventually trade one of your centre wings back to a gun fullback via your duels. So you can make a decision on that. So again, I don't hate that. Jared, coffee on you, $3. Thank you so much for that. Your first super chat. Really, really appreciate that. That gets a love heart from me. Thank you so much. No offense. Living in Sydney, I have never found a coffee shop that sells a coffee for $3. If you know of one, please let me know and I will get the coffee based on that super chat. But no, thank you so much for that donation. I do appreciate it a lot. Do you not want to jump on? No, guys, I will be doing Levi to Lussick. I'm just not doing it today because I just don't need to do the move because Levi's not going to lock out. I can guarantee you I will be doing Levi to Lussick. I promise you that. Cameron Smith, love the show, mate. Cameron, I love you as a player too. You're quite good. Did everyone ever tell you you're a pretty good player? Thoughts on Khaleesi Haas in draft? I don't love it just because I do think Fafita's going to come back soon and then I think he's just going to end up on the bench. Oh, Josh, you long-time listener. Hey, my long-time listener, first-time caller. Do I think Terrell May scores more than 29.2 points this week? Great. What's the word I'm looking at? Shithousing, I guess. We'll call it shithousing. Yes, I think he will score more than 29.2. I think he may score that in the first 15 minutes. Who you got the captain on this week? Captain at the moment is on Turbo because with my current setup, I can loop Bostock. I will just take out Burbo, put in Bostock and put the captaincy on him if I want to loop Hines. But yes, at the moment, I'm running VC Hines Captain Turbo. Luca, who should I trade Lukey for? That's very open-ended. These kind of questions, guys, it's useful if you tell me like your budget because I can tell you to go buy like Olaquatu if you have the money. But, you know, if you don't have Curran, Curran's a safe option. How many players should we have with negative break-even this week? There's no set number that you need to get. It really depends on who do you already have, who do you think is a priority to get rid of in your team and a priority to bring in. For me, I don't want Lanny Devi in my team this evermore. I want Joey Lussick because he's much safer, so I will be doing that trade. That's not necessarily just because I want to increase my amount of negative break-even players, but obviously it helps if they got negative break-even. Lussick or Burbo as the last reserve. I would actually take Lussick over Burbo. Just probably safer for, like, his base power last week was like 55, and I think he still can get attacking stats. He's shown that the last 2 weeks, so yeah, I would take Lussick. 7-Eleven coffee, yeah, okay. I might have to just get a 7-Eleven coffee from Jared's super chat. Thoughts on Talakai? Like him, he's had a good start to the year just with the left side of the Sharks doing very well, but he has done this in the past where he's gone on a little good run and then just kind of regresses back to like 50s and stuff. He's got a 12 break even, so he will make some money, but I don't know, just my vibe is not with Talakai at the moment. I'd prefer Mulatalo. Banter, yes, banter is a word. Smithies or Chan reserve, probably Smithies, better work rate. Nathan Kane, Lukey to Curran, good. Ponga to Val, fine. Levi to Lussick, good boost, I like it. Jesse Arthur's a shout. He's got a very low break even. The problem is that it's an understrength Broncos team against Penrith. I just don't think this is a great week to be trading him in. And the issue is that if he goes really low this week, remember guys, with price changes, the third score in their rolling average is going to stay in their rolling average for the longest, and that would be the Penrith matchup for Jesse Arthurs. And so that might just cap any initial price rises out of him. So I think there are better options to target in terms of break-evens and also points this week. Last front row forward spot, Kepi or Hughes. I'm going to just have to remind myself of the Rabbitohs bench. I think it's a 4-forward bench from memory. Against the Roosters, let's have a quick look. Yeah, he is on the bench. Or Hughes. What did Kepi even score last week? I think something is telling me I'd play Kepi. Yeah, 41, 27 last week in 40 minutes. Yikes. You know what? I'm going to say Hughes. Better matchup, just in the off chance he crashes over for a line break try. So I'll go Hughes. Lanny Devi, yeah, that was on purpose that I said that. Crazy that people get upset at you for not reading their message. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Can't believe it. It's unbelievable. Haven't really been watching, but why the reserve on Lukey? Yes, he is injured. Guys, I just haven't changed my reserves around. Don't worry, I'm not trying to hide my trades. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do Levi to Lussick, Ponga to Latrell. The Lukey one I'm just not sure about yet, but I'm going to sleep on it tonight. That's all. And guys, don't worry, I'm very open with my trade and my team and stuff. If I make a decision, you will hear about it on my socials. So just make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Burbo or Stranger's last reserve? Burbo, in my opinion, better matchup. You can't loop, so should you captain Hines, Drinkwater, or Holmes? Out of those three, I would just take Hines. I don't think the Cowboys are going to score as many points as maybe people think against the Dragons. I think they will have a bit of a reaction after a very poor performance against the the Dolphins. Hines just feels the safest out of all of those for me. May or Ronaldo? I think Terrell May, honestly. I just think he's a guy that we're going to want to have eventually, and I think I'll just lock him in. Is Corey Jensen a good option? He could be, Dylan. I'm very keenly going to watch his minutes tonight. But yes, I think if there's any Broncos forward who will profit the most out of Haas's injury, I think it will be Jensen. Levi to Curran or Nanai? Nanai's got a bit more of the up and down, probably the better ceiling. I think Curran is just going to be a bit more solid. He's also a lot cheaper. I probably still would lean Curran myself. Sam Hughes or Palacia starting front and forward? Probably Hughes. Palacia just has no work rate, really. So yeah, I'd probably prefer Hughes. Okay, let's see if there's a question from someone I haven't addressed. Dino, would you go Pappy over Latrell if you didn't have Grant? Or was the round 4 bye a big deal? No, I think if I didn't have Grant, I would probably still lean Pappy. I think the matchup this week is better for Pappy than Latrell. Then obviously next week Latrell's is way better because he's got the Dogs versus a bye. But yeah, I think Pappy will make more money. I think I would go Pappy if I didn't have Grant. Last reserve out of either Levi, Piakura, Strange, or Arthurs. Definitely Levi. Definitely not Arthurs. I think I'd go Piakura. I think I'd take the forward there. It's a bit safer. Is it worth trading Ponga to Latrell? Is it worth it? It's really up to you to decide. For me, I think it will be worth it. Because as I've said on Tuesday, the amount of options we have at fullback, to me, makes it worth trading him out. Just because if it looks clear that he is the best option to go back to, you can go back to him. But if he's not, you've got Walsh, you've got Gutherson, you've got Pappy, you've got Teddy. There are so many good options that you can move back to, which is why I like that it's worth it, because I think I can at least sell Ponga and avoid big price drop. And the next two matchups I do think are fairly tough. I can go to Latrell, who's got a good matchup in round 4, and then I can reassess round 7 when Latrell has a bye, and I definitely want to get rid of him. At that time, Ponga's got a good run of games as well. So I might go back to Ponga, but I could also make some money out of the trade. So that's why I think it's worth it. Can I loot Bostock at any stage of the round? Yeah, so Bostock won't lock out until the start of the very last game of the round, which will be the 6 o'clock game on Sunday, which is the Knights. So many good games this week. It's a great round. What have we got? Grand final rematch tonight. Roosters Rabbitohs tomorrow. I guess Saturday's a little bit meh. Probably a bit more of the one-sided games. Sunday though, Para Manly is going to be great. Newcastle Melbourne I think will be great too. Which player are we death riding? Well, if I sell Ponga, it's Ponga who I'll be death riding. How much time do we have? 19 minutes. Plenty of time to go. Is Karaz worth holding from Alex? Unless you're set on like a Mulatalo or like a Val Holmes, I think he's fine to hold this week because, like, let me have a quick look at what his break even is. It's an 83 break even. Look, he's got a work rate of like 50 in base. It is a good matchup against the Titans as well. So I think for this week, he is worth holding. I don't think he's going to leak that much cash. And then if it's tough, and if he doesn't do well again this week, look, Hamaso's back. You can easily go Karaz to Hamaso next week because Karaz will then go Rabbitohs, Roosters, Melbourne Knights, and then a bye. Not the best run. You can easily make a switch to Hamaso. So I think it depends on if you're set on a Mulatalo, but if you want to give yourself a week, then I think he's fine to keep this week. Like, it is the Titans matchup. It's a good matchup. Ponga and Lukey to Val and Paps. Yeah, can't complain with the moves. Am I mad for swapping RTS for Mulatalo? Yeah, I wouldn't personally want to sell RTS, if I'm being honest. I think it's a good matchup for him against the Raiders this week. And Mulatalo can be rocks or diamonds. Like, he's not an absolute must this week. Finafuyaki is a must-watch for next week. Glad he has that round 124 score. This is another reason why I'm kind of umming and ahhing about, do I actually sell Lukey for Finafuyaki? Samuel Afinu could be an option next week as well from the Tigers. Like, you got 75 points round 1, played decent minutes, good work rate too. So you don't have to go Finafuyaki this week, but I think it's a good matchup and he should be good for like 55, 60 minutes. Cheers, mate. Last question. How often do you wash your hair? It's beautiful. Well, I shower every day, and I don't put shampoo, conditioner that often. Honestly, I put it like maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks. Trust me, like, I barely use shampoo, conditioner. The secret, as I always say, is a leave-in conditioner. Just wash your hair, bit of leave-in conditioner. You can get sprays, you can get little creams. Just put it in there. Keeps the hair looking great. Very nice and shiny that way too. Who to VC and C? Cleary, Hines, or Drinky? I would definitely want to have a VC on one of Cleary or Hines. My preferred would be Hines for the matchup. And then the captaincy, because obviously you can't do VCC, Cleary, Hines, because I think they're the top 2 out of your 3. Out of Cleary, Hines, I prefer Hines, so I'd probably go VC, Hines, captain, Drinky in your situation. Thoughts on Corey Jensen at prop without Haas could have more minutes at 1.1 or Cotter. I mean, out of the 2, I prefer Cotter, but I am very keenly waiting to watch because I want to see what the minutes are like. And also the thing with him playing more minutes, does his PPM reduce as well? I kind of want to assess that too. Ponga's pals, Levi to Lussick, good. Lukey to Nanai, fine. KP to one of Ronaldo, Holmes, or Trell. That's almost exactly what I could be doing this week, so I'm fine with that. Still have Fermor in second row forward. Fermor's fine. You know, he's got a good matchup against the Bulldogs. Still running May, Hughes, Fafita, and Farmasuli in the front row forward. Want to get rid of Salmon and centre wing. 2 thoughts. I do think, I mean, yeah. So basically, you just need to try to prioritize your trade outs. I think Salmon can wait a week. Look, I think your boost is still fine, and I think you can deal with Salmon next week. You could go Salmon to like who could you go to next week around the price? I don't know. Maybe you could go Salmon to Bostock next week, and get rid of him that way. You could address your front and forward next week as well. Maybe all I would suggest is instead of maybe Lukey to Nanai, maybe just go down to a cheaper guy just so you've got some money in the bank to maybe upgrade one of your front row forwards next week. So am I making no changes? No. I will not be making no changes, guys. I'll repeat it again. I will make changes to my team. I just don't need to do it tonight, which is why I haven't made any trades. Leaving conditioner sponsor. When leaving conditioner sponsor? Yeah, I should reach out to a couple and just tell them, look, I've got a very niche audience, NRL SuperCoach. You may not have heard of it, but my viewers are very interested in hair products. Can you help me out here? I should actually just email someone about that. VC Cleary or Ronaldo are definitely Cleary, in my opinion. Big Chungus, just had to call out the username. Holding Wong and Lucas to put out other fires. I think that's a bad play. No, if you've got other fires, these guys won't change in price. I mean, Lucas might if he does end up playing, but Wong definitely won't. So I think you're fine. Like, if you've got other fires, then, you know, it's always fine to hold. Like, I'm holding Lenu for the last 2 weeks. Not because I've got other fires, I just think I can get by with Liam Henry. I think I will very likely trade Lenu out next week though. Trindle to Hines or have 700k in the bank and an extra boost. I would go Trindle to Hines. Like, I think Trindle is just not on the same caliber of Hines for Supercoach. Ponga to Latrell or Turbo. Other fullback is Drinkwater. Kainan, is that how I pronounce it? I would definitely go Turbo in that. I think Turbo could be one of the, not a must-have, but like if you don't have Turbo guys and you're selling Ponga, Turbo would be the guy who I'd be moving to number one. Who should I trade for Zach Hosking? Already have Curran and 110k in the bank. You don't need to get Hosking. I know he's got a negative break even, but some more words came out of Ricky Stewart today or yesterday that the intention is for Hosking to still be from the bench. I just think the trade in for him, he's going to peak in cash growth pretty quickly, and then you inevitably have to trade him out again. So I just don't like the Hosking trade in now that we know he's coming off the bench. So I don't think you need to make that move, Xander Ross. Odds on Hosking turning up this week after everyone reversed the trade. I'll put $1.10 on it. It's 100% going to happen. Josh, I would, hey man, last question, Burbo or Hutch for last reserve? Yes, Burbo, in my opinion. Marco, thoughts on Ponga, Lenu and Levi out for Mulatalo, May and Lussick. This means you keep Haas and Lukey for a double trade next week with 150k in the bank. Could you just not go Marco? I would just go, if I were you, Haas is more money that in your team you need to deal with. I would personally just go Haas out for Terrell May, just keep Lenu. So instead of being Ponga, Lenu and Levi, go Ponga, Haas and Levi. I would do that. Just you free up more money in the bank for next week as well. So that's what I personally would do that instead, because Haas is going to be out 4 to 6 weeks and he's 700k. It's more about you don't want to leave that much money floating around in your team not being used. So yeah, I would definitely do the Haas out instead of Lenu in that situation, but otherwise the other two trades are fine. Do I trade my wife for my girlfriend? Jordan, we will not discuss such situations here. That's terrible. Aman, Cotter or Hosking long term? Cotter, long term, I think. Thoughts on Teddy versus Latrell this week as a trade? Personally, I'm leaning Latrell. I just think you've got I think you can play the fullback roulette more than you can with Teddy because you've got a very clear window of 3 to 4 weeks before he goes by Penrith, Melbourne, and then you can flip him to like a Ponga, a Walsh, someone else. And I like the fact that he's goal kicking. I think Teddy will outscore him this week, but then next week I think Roosters have got Penrith next week, so I definitely want to. I definitely would prefer Latrell next week. So I think it's kind of close this week. Next week I definitely prefer Latrell. So that's kind of why I'm leaning. Over the next 2, I definitely think Latrell will outscore him. Yeah, it's Penrith next week for Teddy. He does have the Dogs after that, I guess, but I like the goal kicking. I think I prefer Latrell. Play Savage or Burbo this week. Tool Pro, I would go Burbo. Better matchup, I think. Is Olukwatu a buy? He's looking prime from Rahul. I think Olukwatu is a great option this week. If you've got the money to get him comfortably, look, he's running at that edge of Parramatta that was really struggling last week. He's looking really good. One thing, first 2 games. Base stats were a bit down last week, but he's not generally a high base guy. He's more of a tackle buster. But yes, I think Olukwatu is a really good trade in. Trell or Drinkwater points-wise? Drinky. And that's the thing, I haven't actually considered going Ponga to Drinky, mainly just because Drinkwater also has a high break-even, and so I'm kind of looking at it as the reason why I'm going to trade Ponga is to get a guy who's got a low break-even that will make some money. Drinkwater I don't think is going to do that, although I do think this week, points-wise, he'll definitely outscore Latrell. What's my best Supercoach comeback? A lot of us feel like we started poorly. Is there still hope? There's definitely still hope. What do we got? We've got 10 minutes, so I'll try to show this real quick. But I think it was a 2022 season rank. So like, yeah, look at this. Yeah, like look at 2022. So I started round 1 rank 60,700. Then it was 52,000. Then it was 51,000. So basically, pretty bad. I was like 51,000 after the first 3 weeks. Then I had a really big jump up to 23,000, 13,000 by 3 weeks later, I had like more than half my rank to 16,000. Look, basically by the end of the season, I ended up at 1,162. And I can tell you now, I would have been top 1,000 if I got my very final trade correct, but I didn't. I sold some center wing and I wanted to go real pod and I went Matt Ikavalu because he had a good matchup. it was either him or Val Holmes. Ikuvala got 34. Val Holmes got like 134. So if I went Val Holmes, I would have scored way more and I would have ended up in the top 1,000. So look, after 3 weeks, I was 51,000 and I was one trade away from ending up top 1,000. So look, there's definitely hope. Don't worry. All right, let's keep going with the questions. Jared, hey man, loving your content, thank you. Thinking little to Lussick, I think it's a good move. You bank cash and you're getting a guy who's going to make money. Jackson Paulo to Mulatalo, boosting for Drinky to Trell. I wouldn't boost the last thing. I wouldn't do Drinky to Trell, not this week anyway. Like, he's got the Dragons, then he has the Titans in round 5. I would keep Drinky to Trell. I think your other two moves are perfectly fine, so I wouldn't do that particular boost though, Jared. Lussick or Chan for the last reserve? Lussick. Bogues, Levi, Lukey, and Hutchinson to Lussick, Curran, and Savage. The first two trades, good. Or Levi, Lukey, Ponga to Lussick, Nanai, Ronaldo via duels. I kind of like the second one, just because I think the 3 guys you're getting are better than the 3 guys you're getting in the first one. But you are obviously sacrificing Ponga. But yeah, I think I actually slightly prefer that second boost that you've mentioned there, Bogues. I'm buffering a little bit, so hopefully it's not too bad. Let's keep going. How much time we got? We've got 7 minutes. There's still hope you can still trade in Teddy. Michael Bryce is very big on the Teddy train. Okie dokie. Do you think Pappy will play well this week? Yes, I think he'll play well. How much he'll he score? I don't know. What do you think Curran's minutes are without injuries at the Dogs? I still think it's going to be at least 55 minutes, in my opinion. Alright guys, I think we might go for like another 2 or 3 minutes. I won't go all the way to lockout just because I think a lot of the questions are starting to kind of repeat themselves. A lot of Lukey, Levi stuff. But we'll go for a couple of minutes. Also, the stream is starting to buffer a little bit too, so I think my poor computer is probably starting to heat up a little bit. Ponga to Latrell or Val? I still prefer Latrell, but Val is very, very solid. Sorry, man, my stream cut out for you. Yeah, it has jumped around a little bit. When would the optimal time to get Tom Turbo in? Honestly, I'm lucky. I would get Turbo in this week if you could. Shout out to the Whisperer for pulling these stats together. But the last 3 non-injury affected games that Tommy Turbo has had against Parramatta, let me just quickly find it. It was 103, 179, 159. I think he's going to go well this week based on that record. Plus, I do like the weather's good on Sunday. It's going to be probably going to be a warm track as well. Yeah, I think I would get Turbo this week. Taking Hosking out, who should I put in? Assuming you're looking for the trade in, I'd probably go Curran. If you loop, whose points are you sacrificing? It would be Burbo, which I'm kind of okay with. Like, I don't mind just sitting Burbo out if I want to loop. Riley O, King to May, Ponga to Holmes, Levi to Lussick. Yeah, I think it's a pretty solid boost. What's my favorite player ever? Good question. Yeah, I think we'll end the stream on this question, by the way, guys. Just to give myself a few minutes so I can sit myself on the TV, in front of the TV. My favorite player ever. Don't think it's actually a Roosters player either. I do think it's Benji Marshall. I reckon Benji Marshall was my favorite player ever. I never had the build to play rugby, but my God, you know that one try he scored against Parramatta, or not that try, he set up against the Parramatta Eels when he just kind of dink, flick pass behind the back. Yes, I did that in the backyard many, many times, copying that. So yes, I think just because of that, I reckon Benji. Alright guys, I'm going to end the stream there. I think the stream is starting to buffer as well, but hopefully I was able to answer most of the key questions for this week. So do give the stream a like on the way out if you did enjoy it. Very best of luck to you this weekend as well. Hopefully back on Sunday night for a wrap-up stream, of course. And yeah, good luck with all your trade decisions. Hopefully they all pay off for you. but hopefully I still beat you all because, look, at the end of the day, I'm selfish. I want to do the best I can. But I still hope you guys do okay. I just want to hope I do a little bit better than you all. But thanks everyone for your time this evening. Catch you all in the next one, and good luck.